Today I'll be doing an album review on Slipknot's All Hope Is Gone album. Here's the artwork, the back, up, track listing, and side. Stupid mirror cam. Stupid mirror cam. Wasting enough time showing all this. Yeah. This album is probably one of my favorites, also one of my least favorites. When it compared to Volume 3, it's one of my favorites. Now that I think of that kind of one, compared to MFKR, it's one of my favorites. Compared to Iowa or the self-titled album, not really one of my favorites. Okay. First track, Execute. It's kind of like an ominous track. Like, it's longer than most intro tracks on Slipknot, besides Prelude 3.0, but an actual song. So, Corey's doing a speech to some guy that did a speech stuff. It's very political. It lasts for about 1 minute and 49 seconds, I guess, somewhere around there, somewhere in that neighborhood. Second track, Gematria, The Killing Name. It's 6 minutes in length and about 5 minutes in interest. Man, I mean, the entire song is really great. Doesn't start off immediately with rhythm. It starts just doing a bunch of technical crap and stuff. Then, I'm not barely a minute in, they start doing the real rhythm and la-di-da, they do their thing. It's kind of longer than it needs to be. I'll just say the least. It's a little longer than it actually needs to be. Like this video will end up being. Probably. Third track, Sulfur. It was. Let's see which. It was the third single off the. It was one of the singles off this album. I was gonna say that because I do not remember. I'm looking it up right now. It's one of the singles, and it's really good. A lot of double bass, and it is the fourth single. It's a good song. It's really good. That's all I can say about that. I didn't like it originally because it was just a tired song to me, I guess. Wasn't really into it at all, but it's kind of grown on me. Double bass is fantastic. It's a good song, but some parts are a little, overall good. Track 4, Psychosocial. One of the first songs I ever heard of Slipknot, I think. One of the first. It's not the first, but one of the first. The first one was Duality, so off the third album. But it's the second single off of the album, and it's actually pretty good. Everybody gives this song flack for being a mainstream song, people say they like the band, but they only like that one song. Maggots give them crap for that, I guess. I don't think it happens much anymore. I don't know. Personally, don't really pay attention if it does. Next song, Dead Memory, track 5, and your third single off the album. It's really melodic. It's a song I would listen to with my mom, and she's in the country, so that's not really. I wouldn't consider that something you'd really. It's a good song. I mean, it's like, well, at least it's not like in between like Sulfur and Gematria. I mean, oh god, it would not last there. It would not stand a chance. Compared to everything else in Slipknot's catalog, this doesn't. The song doesn't really do. It's a good song to listen to sometimes. Sixth track, Vendetta. I never liked that song, but I do now. I used to not like that song at all. It wasn't until like a year ago, less than a year, a few months ago, that I realized there's this whole breakdown part of the song. I thought it was just I thought it was all that or something. I never knew it was just this cool. Never knew there was that cool part. I don't really like this song actually. Now that I think of it, because it kind of repeats itself a little bit, much like Gematria does. The chorus is really big, so probably only repeats twice when I think it's been 6 times. The next song, track 7, Butcher's Hook. It's a fantastic song, dude. It kind of starts off like Vendetta does, Vendetta does, with the drums, except it's not, or whatever. I can't do machine gun sounds, dude. I don't know how to do that. I just can't. It just starts with the boom, boom, boom. I would sing the entire song if I had to. It's really not mediocre. I don't want to say mediocre, but it's a Slipknot song. Kind of underrated. It's really underrated. Compared to Vendetta, it's Next track, Gehenna, track 8. Gehenna, not Gehenna. A lot of people make that mistake, I think. I would not know. No other fans of Slipknot that I know that are not particularly, or at least they're into this album. It's a long song that I don't really like how the chorus repeats at the end 3 or 4 times. It would have really got its point across like after the second time. And the way it kind of fades out. It's a long time, but without it, kind of just drop off into a really heavy song. This is one of my favorites. I love the way he does the chorus. Stuff out of Trim Veins. Okay, track 9, This Cold Black. It's a really great song. I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's one of Clown's favorites. It's one of my favorites. But some of the riffs kind of sound like they've been done before. Much like most of the tracks. No, not most of the tracks, but a few of the riffs sound like they've been done before. In the case of This Cold Black, they do it pretty well. Mediocre. In my opinion, it's better than Vendetta, but not quite as good as Snuff. Oh no, it's Psychosocial. Sorry. The next song, Wherein Lies Continue. It's really underrated, to be honest. To me, it's really underrated. Unlike Psychosocial, it's really underrated. Unlike Snuff, it's really underrated. My sister only likes Snuff. Ugh, I don't understand why. But it's a really long. Wherein Lies Continue is a really long. It's kind of a long song. It's about 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes. It doesn't really need to be. It could be like a little bit over 5 minutes. Doesn't need to be the extra stuff like Gehenna almost went 7 minutes, and they could cut that 6 minutes in half. But that's my opinion. Nobody cares what I think. The next track, Snuff. A lot of people don't like this song, and a lot of people love this. It's got both sides to it. I don't know anyone that hates the song Surfacing, that likes Slipknot. It's a good song in my opinion. It's a good song, but in the particular place that's in on the album, I could say they could have at least released, not on the album, but at least just as a single, not being included on no album at all. It's good on this album. I can only think of it on this album, not on any Stone Sour album or anything, because Slipknot. If you ever heard MFTR, Slipknot's kind of about doing different things. Like if you heard songs like Slipknot, to songs like Confessions, to Do Nothing. Trying to see that they were into, they can do a lot of stuff. Like Cattering, they were originally about doing different stuff, and Snuff is an example of it. I don't know why people just hate it so much, because it's not soft. They didn't get soft, they matured. Anyway, next track, All Hope Is Gone, the title track. Not one of my favorites. To be honest, it's kind of feels forced and heavy. Pretty good. The intro is good. It's just, it honestly feels forced. I don't know why. I just have a hunch where it's like forced or something. Yeah. All Hope Is Gone by Slipknot. Released on August 20th, 2008, as Wikipedia claims. Well, going to Wikipedia for facts is like going to McDonald's for a steak.